Really surprising news out of Spain this morning, where Nico Williams has signed a new deal with Athletic Club Bilbao until 2035, ending Barcelona's pursuit of him. I think the surprise is the timing. We didn't expect a conclusion so soon, so suddenly it almost came without any sort of prior reporting. There have been some suggestions, sources to ESPN last week, that Athletic was still pushing to renew him, but certainly not that they were so close to extending his deal and ending Barcelona's interest. It's absolutely huge for Athletic, who managed to renew one of the best young wingers in world football, the 22-year-old who starred for Spain, scored in the final of the European Championships last summer. It's absolutely massive. It was announced this morning through a video on social media where Nico Williams, fans had actually, the deal was so far along the line, fans had thought he was going to Barcelona. They defaced a mural of him in the city, but it was announced with him going to that mural and scribbling sort of graffiti in 2035 on there. Athletic saying his release clause has increased by more than 50% that it was previously, so that's going to be more than 100 million now, which is what made him so alluring to Barcelona. His previous clause was 58 million, and it's a really embarrassing situation for Barca, really. Regardless of whether you think they need Nico or not, obviously they've got Rafinha on the left, they've got Lamine Yamal on the right. It's true, they do need reinforcements in terms of depth in attack, but do they need starters? How does Nico fit in? Was always the question, but just because of their public pursuit, they've really got egg on their faces this morning, because Deco has said Nico's a player who's shown a strong desire to come to the club. Joan Laporta, the president, had said we're prepared to pay his 58 million release clause. Athletic had even been complaining to La Liga, saying, look, can Barca pay his release clause? Do they have this money? Do they have the financial fair play space? So it's been a real sort of mess, sort of ongoing sort of feud between the clubs over this deal. It seemed that finally, because Barca first tried to sign Nico last year, of course, he turned them down because he wasn't sure if they could register him or not, couldn't get certain assurances. It seemed that finally he would sign this year, but it's not the case. It's perhaps not, like I say, perhaps not the biggest surprise that he stays at Athletic. There is always the allure to stay at Athletic. Obviously, they play Basque players. His brother's there. They're in the Champions League this season. There are reasons for him to stay, but it seemed like he was going to leave. And like I say, the timing is a real big shock today, because no one sort of saw it coming so soon. It's going to be interesting to see those games between Barca and Athletic next season now, because when Athletic came to Barca at the start of last season and Nico hadn't signed, there were a few whistles for him, and that's only going to intensify, you'd imagine, now given the events of this summer. So yeah, big surprising news. Barcelona shunned by Nico Williams, who commits his future until 2035 to Athletic Club.